What's up, guys? We are back with our post E3 episode of the shirtless deltoid Gamescast. It's really nice to be here. Half of us are in the nude. Gabe just escaped somewhere. I don't know what's happening, but Gabe just went off camera. He can't handle it. But we are here to talk about E3. We're here to talk about what we liked, what we didn't like. Maybe tickle your fancy. Maybe rustle your jimmies a little bit, so to speak. This is getting really weird. Okay, so anyway, we'll start it off with a flex right there for all the scores of female viewers who might be watching, and I know there's thousands of you. That was primarily
and if you want to see what a flex looks like without muscle, I got you covered.
Exactly.
That's true power. Right there.
That is feel true power.
Almost unfair.
You see, no, but see, here's the issue: is that Finneman is rocking that checkerboarding, and this is where the true this is where the true 4K is right here. The true dynamic 4K is right here. Okay, so perfect pixels, terrifying clarity. Okay, guys, enough about our manliness and our naked bodies. Let's introduce our guest, our old friend Anthony from GamesBeat. Now, dude, you're at GamesBeat.
I am now at GamesBeat. I am at VentureBeat and GamesBeat as the my title is head of social media, which is a ridiculous thing to have to put on a business card in every way. Jeff, I would like to say that momentarily as John was talking about the shirtless extravaganza that is this post E3 show, you were like hiding down in the corner of your screen, like it looked like somebody in a Blumhouse horror movie receiving the worst news imaginable. Like the call was coming from inside the house. My favorite part of this so far.
There's a lot of news worse that I can think of. So.
Fair enough.
I promise you.
Getting back to that happened.
I just want to point out that not only am I shirtless, but this is an extremely strong stout. And I will probably be drunk and shirtless by the end of this podcast. Now, I can't promise nothing. No, I can't promise. This beanie might come off.
Please don't blind our viewers.
All right, so we're here to
clean over here.
I know. All right, so we're here to talk about this. Is a video games podcast after all, and we're here to talk about video games, and we're here to talk about our post E3 impressions. Now, the way I thought we would do this is. I don't know about you guys, but I've watched every single conference. I know that a bunch of you guys streamed them with me. So I thought, if everybody's amenable to it, that we would start off with EA and just make it a group discussion, talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, what we thought they could have done, surprises, and then at the end we will rate and we'll come up with kind of a group discussion as to who we thought had the strongest showing.
If there's any company that you know what to expect more than anyone, it's EA. Like you know what you're getting with EA.
I feel like we're good. Let's move on.
You're getting your Need for Speed. You're getting your
but skipping EA does a disservice to A Way Out.
Yes.
And it also makes us unable to make fun of the professional YouTuber who can't speak on camera.
That guy was a mess.
That was
so sad. I felt really bad for the guy.
I felt bad for him too. Like he just.
Look, part of me, it tickled every schadenfreude bone in my body when he introduces himself as a YouTube creator, a.k.a. a guy who makes his living talking on camera to millions of people. And the concept of saying, here's Need for Speed Payback was too
It was way over his head. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to get out.
Oh, shit. Why did Jay not get invited to the room? Jay's in chat like, guys, can I come in, please? You know,
he's not on the official.
Oh, he's not. He's not.
I could have had him.
He's not.
Excluded.
Hold on. Here he comes. All right, there we go. Sorry, Jay. We need to add him to the official.
On the topic of conferences, which one had the showcasting? Because that was definitely
showcast. What do you mean by showcast?
What do you mean by showcast?
Oh God, yeah, in the middle of it, where some guy just started yelling.
Well, it was like a stealth sequence.
Yeah, it was.
Started screaming.
That was for the Darwin Project, wasn't it?
Yeah, he looked like a Scooby-Doo villain. And, like he wasn't.
Somehow I don't remember that.
Yeah. He had like a giant red beard he wasn't like a personality. They didn't announce him. No, it was for the Darwin Project. It was in the middle of Xbox. Xbox's presentation.
I thought that might have been EA, but
yeah. All right. So EA, can we now that Anthem has been revealed, all agree that BioWare is no longer relevant in any way, shape, or form?
Absolutely.
Can we all just be there that the BioWare of old that made made Baldur's Gate,
they're done.
Knights, that company doesn't exist anymore.
I mean, the doctors have been out for
so here's the thing. When I saw the gameplay for Anthem, within the first, I would say, minute, the one thought that was dominating my mind was, oh, that's what happened to Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, so
resources went to Anthem.
Absolutely, and I think
the gunplay looks like a Mass Effect game.
It does.
It does. Yes.
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 Some of the combat stuff, it looked like Andromeda a bit better.
Yeah,
I
was
impressed by it. I don't buy that because there's two separate entities.
Anthony, do you think in order to get BioWare back to where it was, they need the Bends? Does BioWare need to call in the Bends?
They need the Bends.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that the Bends are missing. It's that
they need the doctors.
Yeah, they need a small group of very devoted writers who aren't thinking to themselves, oh, we need to make a story that's going to need to accommodate a bullshit online mode to go with our single player game. And
they got Drew back now, so
yeah, they have Drew back.
That's step one.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
so
the problem with BioWare is I feel like they used to write stories and then build a game for the story, and like Anthony said, now it's the other way around. It's like, we're gonna have this amazing multiplayer in Mass Effect, and then we need it to be new, but we also need it to tie to the original trilogy. And they come up with the gameplay stuff. Yeah, you're going to go to these planets, and you're going to be like the Mako is back or the Nomad, and then they write around all that stuff, and that's not a good way to handle a narrative-heavy game like that. It might work in something else, but not for BioWare.
You have to turn off the autofocus.
Yeah, dude, your camera keeps focusing in now.
I was trying to turn it off.
It keeps going like in and out, like blurry.
Yeah, it looks like I'm actually looking at you like in a Mass Effect game, like everything else is blurred except your face.
You know what? I'll just turn the camera off. That's all right.
Guys, chill out. His face is tired. His face is tired. All right. So sorry, I had to do something real quick. So I guess we'll go ahead and stop the EA talk simply because I think we can all agree that EA's conference was lackluster. You had your fucking sports, you had your Battlefront 2, which was fine. You had guys high fiving. I felt like the perfect image to sum up that EA conference was those two guys who high fived and totally fucking missed it. Like I was like, and then they went for the high five and they missed, and they both just kind of awkwardly went and looked at the camera, and I was like, wow, that sums up this fucking conference to a T.
I want to comment on something really weird in the conference.
Yeah, man.
Not weird, but so they showed Battlefield 1 DLC, and then Battlefront 2, they talked about how their DLC is going to be free. And so in the same conference, they're showing one game where it's just coming out with its second DLC pack, like a long time after the game launched, and you have to pay for it. And then at the same time, they're like, you shouldn't have to pay for DLC. All the stuff's gonna be, it's like a really weird mixed message.
I get what you mean.
Yeah. You want to know what I think it was their biggest mixed message? Was that they had the girl coming out who's playing the lead in the campaign.
Yeah.
Star Wars. Then they had a montage of everyone asking about the campaign.
And they showed
John Boyega saved Star Wars.
Then they showed Finn and said, "It's like, hey, I brought the campaign to you guys." And then they proceed to not show the campaign at all.
They didn't show anything.
Did they show it in a stream or anything, or have we not?
No, there was no campaign, dude. It was all multiplayer.
They don't want to spoil it, guys. I'm sure the story in that's gonna be
it's
really
gonna be very deep.
Well, and that's why I thought we didn't see Visceral's game, because I was like, oh well, if you put that campaign against Battlefront campaign, it's not gonna flatter it.
In fairness, the campaign in the original Star Wars Battlefront 2, like the one from 2004, is pretty good.
Absolutely.
It's actually fun.
Like if somebody gives you shit parts, like from episode 2 and 3, and you try to build a structure out of shit, that's the best possible structure you could make out of shit.
Fair enough.
Hey, I actually like the prequel trilogy. I've mentioned this numerous times.
Yeah, you didn't mention one in the shit tier. Do you like the Phantom Menace? Is that what you're saying?
All right. I don't want to go too far into prequel land, but at least the Phantom Menace at least feels somewhat like a Star Wars movie.
It has
like
Duel of the Fates. So.
Oh God, what is happening to this podcast? Jeez.
I'll admit that episode 2 is a clusterfuck though. I don't like episode 2 at all.
All right, enough of this.
Episode 2 is fucking awful.
Terrible.
Okay, so
3 is the best of the first.
Oh,
3,
absolutely, yeah. Episode 3 is the best.
So Ubisoft.
So we agree on that.
Ubisoft. Let's talk about some Ubisoft.
We should talk about A Way Out. We didn't really talk about.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a great point. Okay, yes, let's talk about A Way Out because we can shit on EA's conference all day, and it was a terrible conference, but A Way Out looks really fucking good.
EA gave money to Joseph Ferris, and that is all that matters.
Yep.
If somebody is giving Joseph Ferris more money to make games, awesome. A+.
So, like, did anybody else get an Uncharted in the prison vibe?
Not really.
From it?
I saw that a lot on Twitter, but I didn't see it myself. I didn't see the Uncharted.
So
superficial, right? It's just the two guys breaking out. It's like, you know, him and Sam and the escape at the beginning. But other than that, in terms of the actual gameplay,
I mean, there's not really anything else like it. Like, there's not. I mean, people are looking for things to obviously connect it to, but like, the first thing that came to my head was Kane and Lynch. But even it's not really that close to Kane.
No, not really. Well, and like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that multiplayer is actually like, or I think like co-op. Like, you can only play it in co-op. Like,
yeah,
there's
100%.
There's no single player component at all.
You can play online, but he basically is saying he doesn't want you to.
It's still split screen, even online.
But it's,
I don't know how I feel about that.
You to play it in the same room with another person.
Yeah, like if you're in a cutscene viewing something, like your half of the screen might show you might be in a cutscene, but then the other player can like still walk around and see you standing, participating in the cutscene. It's kind of cool how they handled it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's from the makers of Brothers. Like, there's there's a pedigree.
That's the only it reminded me of Brothers, like
Absolutely.
more than anything.
Yeah, sure.
If you were going to try and sort of adapt that, because that game was all about controlling two different perspectives, but it was typically just overhead and being like, all right, well, I'm going to go with a far more explicit story where people are talking to each other. It's like, yeah, this is Joseph Ferris with a lot of money rather than just a little bit of money.
He got a little ambitious.
Yeah, I'm on board. That guy is a crazy person
really
too.
It looks really cool.
You could say he got rich because of his brothers.
Hey-o!
Well,
the other thing I really liked about
innovative idea.
Like,
it's coming from EA.
He's the only one that came on stage and actually felt passionate about the game. Everyone else was clearly like very corporate and reading from the teleprompter, but you could actually feel that he was really invested and excited about the game.
Well, so
I mean, they seem pretty excited for Madden this year.
I mean, remember when they brought out the Unravel guy?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like EA always had once a year they'll bring out an
indie guy A, indie guy B. Yeah.
So people in chat are actually like, I guess now my picture is popping up, and yes, I am indeed shirtless, guys. Like y'all.
Oh, so is Matt.
So yeah, like, but no, I guess
everyone.
I guess nobody could actually see me for some reason. My picture wasn't popping up, but now I guess it is. Yes,
you blend in with your wall. Too,
I actually do not have a shirt on. Like y'all thought I was bullshitting, but no, I don't. Because there's too much shit to talk about for clothes. I don't have time for clothes right now.
True, clothes get in the way.
So
you want to talk Bethesda next?
Actually, I was hoping.
Was it Bethesda or Microsoft? Who was?
No, it was Microsoft, wasn't it?
Yeah, let's just go in order what they were showing.
All right, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'll kick it off. I think Microsoft had a better conference than they've had over the past few years.
Definitely, big time.
Yeah, I mean, things really improved for them.
Well, let's just look at it this way. Look at the Xbox One reveal. Look at the Xbox One X reveal. It's night and day, honestly. It really is. Like they addressed everything that people were complaining about back in 2013 with the way that they revealed the new system. So like, if people have a
lot of games.
Yeah, they showed a shitload of games. Like, if anybody has anything to complain about with this Microsoft press conference, like, you're just never going to be happy with Microsoft because this is like as close as they're going to get to just games.
It was a solid conference. They paced themselves pretty well this time. I think.
They did. I agree.
I think
the only downside I think was maybe a little bit too much talking at the beginning and the Sea of Thieves.
But it's a
gameplay
console
demo they
reveal.
had.
Like somebody has to get out there and say like, "Hey, this system's better than the last one we made." And they have to-
Exactly.
Bringing the car on stage was kind of.
Yeah. Okay. No. They went way too far.
yeah, that was a little much for me.
Like buying an Xbox or a Porsche.
But like I'm okay. I'm okay with the guy getting up there and talking about teraflops.
You are never.
I mean, like Forza is like Microsoft's Madden, like the Porsche is the cover athlete. So they got to bring out and be like, okay, guys, this is the cover athlete for Forza 7.
So you're never getting a Microsoft conference without a car coming out on stage. That's just a pipe dream.
Some sort of excess.
Here's my big issue with Microsoft's conference. I think they started off talking about Scorpio specs way too much. I think that went on way too long. I mean, this is why you did the Digital Foundry reveal.
It was 10 minutes.
I mean, I honestly, I think it should have been 2 minutes. Like, I don't think you need to focus on hardware for that long. It's a mid, which is why I thought the PS4 Pro reveal last year was terrible. It was a snooze fest because
it went on for they talked specs for Pro.
But yeah, I was like, oh my lord, and so go ahead.
For Sony, the Pro is, hey, if you want a better one, it's here, and that's it. We don't really give a shit. From Microsoft, the way you can tell the way they've been handling this isn't, oh, here's a little mid-gen upgrade. To them,
they want this to be the
this
new
is us trying to get the hardcore gamers who care about performance resolution back on our side.
Yeah.
So that's why they spent the time on it.
I have a question though. Is yes, you want to get the hardcore gamers who care about, like the highest fidelity graphical presentation that they can get. But don't all those people have PCs? The person who cares about that the most, the hardcore audience, they all have a PC. And if every single game that Microsoft announced, every single game is available on Windows 10 or Steam or both, and Phil Spencer is saying, yeah, I want the Xbox 360 and original Xbox backwards compatibility on PC as well, who is this box for?
Honestly,
you can tell from the marketing that the box is for the people with Scorpios in their name. Like they're catering to their base that was already going to buy it.
But no, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
All I was going to say is but that base is not enormous. That base has never been enormous.
No, niche.
Yeah, it's super niche. I mean, the Xbox 360 was a monumental success in the United States and in Europe because it was indispensable, because that was where you played everything.
It was first, it was cheap, and it was powerful.
And I actually think they had a great show. They showed a lot of great games. I think the box itself is attractive as hell. And for somebody like me that sits there late at night and is like, I want to play Panzer Dragoon, Orta, and Galton Valkyrie.
Crimson Skies.
I want to play freaking Jade Empire so I can have my original Xbox save back. I like the idea of backwards compatibility, but again, if all of this stuff is going to be on PC, why wouldn't I take that $500 and buy a monster GPU?
Well, that's exactly what I was just going to say. People, their reasoning is PC gaming is too expensive, it requires too much investment to get into, and then they'll buy an Xbox at launch, they'll buy the Xbox One S when it comes out, and then they'll buy the Xbox One X too. So as long as they don't spend $1,000 in one chunk, I guess it's okay.
To me, I think that shows two problems. So one thing, I think people at this point need to realize these aren't Xbox conferences, these are Microsoft conferences. PC to them is an Xbox.
Yep.
You can still, I'm surprised they haven't introduced
Windows
Xbox
10.
Live benefits for PC yet, but I'm sure they will. And maybe backwards compatibility on PC will be a gateway into get people to sub to that service.
Yeah.
But the big problem is their price. I don't think $499 is a bad price for that hardware. That's really good performance. UHD, 4K Blu-ray players, if you don't buy an Xbox, they're really expensive. So what you get in that is good for that price, but that's where the Pro is managing to capture a little bit of the mainstream audience because it's $399. It's a little bit closer to being more affordable and a little bit less of an investment for that casual crowd. Oh, I don't care about frame rate or performance that much, but this is better and it's only $100 more. But when you get to that $500 point, like you said, it's too much for that audience that doesn't really care. But for the audience that does care, it's not good enough.
And the sad truth is no console has ever succeeded at $499.
Yes.
It has never happened in 35 years. That price is the kiss of fucking death. there's just nobody who's going to spend that money in
Maybe the
large
Xbox One X is the kiss of
Well,
death to this
And before this
generation of
generation,
gaming.
before this generation, has any leading like the market leader for consoles, has it ever been the most powerful one? Maybe once.
Maybe
or
I
twice?
think that
No.
no.
Wii.
like
PS2?
The Wii was an anomaly though. Like that was
Okay.
Yeah, but Xbox 360, like eventually, like the PlayStation 3 global sales surpassed Xbox 360, but it took 11 goddamn years for it to happen. The PlayStation 3 launched at $499 and $599. It had to go through two separate hardware revisions.
The 499 version was bullshit.
It was bullshit. Like that machine had to be redesigned twice and price dropped twice for it to ever find its audience.
I still have my launch PS3. The fucking
here
backwards compatibility, $599.
It does. I could play PS2 games on my PS3. Woo!
Congratulations.
This was
I can't
my
just download PCSX2 on my PC.
This was my biggest problem with Microsoft's conference is that for $499, I don't feel like they convinced. They sure as hell didn't convince me or give me a compelling reason to go pick up an Xbox One X. And let me go on the record as saying I hate that fucking name. I hate that name. Xbox One X is a stupid name. You should.
Why is it stupid? Like I see everyone saying that,
They
but
could do better.
I have no problem with it.
I mean, Xbox One X. I mean, that's
it's a mouthful.
I mean, they should have just called it the Xbox One Scorpio at this point. I mean, there's so much brand recognition around that name, that freaking emoji.
It's the Xbox One.
The problem
is
Scorpio abbreviates to S, so that kind of
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Jeff.
I consider that.
You have to picture like people like us on forums and enthusiasts. Yes, we know the difference, but you picture the holidays, mom and dad or grandpa and grandma walking into Walmart, and then they see an S and they see an X, and also say it out loud just out loud. S and X kind of blur together.
I agree.
And then you know the Pro's either going to get probably won't get a price shop, but it will get some attractive bundles for the holidays, and it might even be bundled down on Black Friday to $350. So you have a $150 price difference, presumably during the holidays. And the other thing is, common people don't know about differences in 4K. You tell them dynamic, true, checkerboard. They don't give a shit. They see 4K and they have their new $500 4K TV that they don't know is bad or good or not. You tell them HDR, their eyes glaze over. The general public doesn't care about the stuff that Microsoft is laser focusing all of their marketing on.
While that is true, there is a good chunk of consumers that will buy it just because it's better.
Yeah.
Just from working in retail, people come in and they talk to me like, I want your best TV. People who have money. I want them. They don't know what it does. They don't care. They're like, give me the best. And there is not a lot of them, but there is people out there that will buy it because they see that higher price tag and they assume,
well, of course. But there's a reason that even though none of us think about it, Walmart is still the #1 retail for video games. And it's because that's just where casual and mass audiences shop.
That's why they're still making Cabela's games.
Like, and I don't want anybody to think that we're like sitting here shitting on Microsoft. I mean, I thought they had a good conference. It was certainly better than anything they've done. Yeah, the conference itself was good. I just don't feel like they did a very good job selling the Scorpio. And like,
they're in a shit position. They're in a shit position.
Well, and
I think they realize that.
Yeah, they know it.
Well, and here's the other thing, and I got into it. Well, I didn't really get into it, but there was a back and forth between me and some guy on Twitter, and because I made the comment, I said they need this. They need to make something happen, because I'm not saying that the Xbox is going to be the last Microsoft console. That would be a silly thing to say. However, it's important to note that the investors, this is a publicly traded company, and the investors since 2005 have wanted the Xbox division gone. And if the Xbox division, if it was gone tomorrow, their shares would skyrocket. So I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that the Xbox division is in danger of being spun off or anything, but I guarantee you that the higher ups at Microsoft, the guys who are holding the purse strings, are going to be looking at Xbox One X sales this fall and this holiday with a fucking laser focus. And anybody who doesn't think that, I mean, you need to stop deluding yourself.
John, I will contest one point of what you just said.
Please.
You don't think this is the last Microsoft console. I think that there is I'm not saying it's definite, but I think that there's a very real possibility that Xbox One X is the last box that they make as the flagship of their gaming world. I think the most significant thing that Microsoft announced during its conference was cross-platform play for Minecraft, and saying here is our most valuable gaming property like right now. It's not fucking Halo. They've destroyed Halo's marketability. Yep. Minecraft is gigantic, and Microsoft basically walked on stage and said to the world, "We convinced Nintendo
of all fucking companies, yeah,
to have an Xbox Live sign-up window.
That's fucking nuts.
On the Switch. That's the future of Xbox, man.
So you're talking, so you're talking like games as a service kind of deal, basically.
Absolutely. Like, you know, I feel like at this point you might see, after Xbox One lives out its life, which is, you know, there's 4 or 5 years
probably,
something
left
like
in that thing. After that, they might still keep making boxes, but like it's going to be a lot more profitable for them to chase getting people buying Xbox games from an Xbox store on whatever their machine is. You know, it's just the smarter play.
I can absolutely see that happening, actually.
Yeah.
Anybody else got anything to add about Microsoft before we move on to? I think it's.
Let's talk about the games, because
absolutely, yeah. Let's talk about the games real quick.
Sea of Thieves could not have possibly looked more boring if they tried.
Yeah, it looked really boring.
I have been saying, you guys know, I have been saying for a long time that Sea of Thieves is probably going to be a fine game that sells like crap. Nobody's going to buy this thing. I don't think, and I don't think because we know it's coming out next year, and I don't think there is a good time to release this thing.
No, there's not.
I just don't.
It doesn't look like a fun game to play.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. I've played the alpha, and it just doesn't look much improved from the alpha at all.
And also,
you go into a cave and you carry treasure back.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's pretty much the whole game, and like you can't play game randoms. Like you've got to play the people you actually know.
Oh, that really?
Yeah, like when I was playing the alpha, I got put into a game for like 3 people from like a different country. So we're all different, like we're all speaking like different languages, and like we can't like navigate our ship because you need like more than one person to actually like go anywhere.
Also, I mean, let's not forget that you have to imagine Rare's faces. The developer at Rare, their faces when Skull and Bones got revealed.
Let's talk about Skull and Bones.
Fucking boring. Hold on.
Ubisoft time.
So let's finish talking about Microsoft games. We got and like on the flip side, Ori and the Blind Forest 2 is one of the most beautiful looking games I've ever seen in my life. Hands down. Well, holy shit.
Oh yeah, Ori.
Don't forget how Ashen has come back, has risen from the ashes. And just looks great. And everyone that's touched that game has said nothing but glowing remarks about it. So I think that's going to be a strong exclusive for them.
What I don't get, and this is what I don't get, is that I know we all know, and if you don't know, this is the truth. This is Halo 6 was supposed to be there. The show was supposed to close with either Halo 6 or this big exclusive they had called Knights of the Aegis, which I hear now may be canceled. Maybe the game may not even exist anymore. And I'm wondering, I really think it would have been a stronger show with Halo 6 at the end, like just a teaser. And even though we know it's coming, for Microsoft not to trumpet one of their big first part. And Anthony, you very, very correctly said that the Halo series, the Halo brand, is not what it used to be anymore.
No, dude, they needed to keep Halo far away from Anthem, far away from Destiny.
Interesting, that's a good point.
Far away from this box. Like I think Halo 4 is a great game. I really enjoyed it a lot, but Halo 5 did such horrific damage to that brand that I hate talking about Halo like it's a brand because it's supposed to be a fun story, and Reach and ODST are fun-ass stories. But Halo 5 was everything wrong with the Xbox One launch in one game that came out way too goddamn late. And
do you think it also, the Master Chief Collection and all of its issues didn't help either?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, no, that game is still not fixed.
Yeah. That game's still the matchmaking in the Master Chief Collection is still broken. I guess that is the Master Chief Collection one of only like 2 really true Xbox One exclusives that haven't been released on PC yet.
I think so.
Master Chief Collection, Rare Replay, and Sunset Overdrive.
I mean, it's which of course lends weight to your theory of games as a service, which I think the writing's on the wall, and I think you're probably right. I think that's probably the direction they're moving towards. As far as games go, like I don't. We
finally saw Crackdown 3.
Yeah, but that's another weird thing. Like for their big fucking like third-party tentpole release coming out this fall, like we saw precious little of that game.
I thought there was going to be like a 10-minute demo that was just going to be this huge like destruction and like.
I have strong.
It looked like a commercial I would see like during like an NFL game.
Yeah.
Like we saw like 2 minutes of Terry Crews talking, and then 1 minute, and then like a sizzle reel of action, and that was it.
Does that inspire you with confidence that their big first-party holiday title didn't even get a showcase at their own conference?
I don't know what it means. I mean, the game is launching. I mean, up until now, we have seen almost nothing of Crackdown 3. Almost nothing. And the game is releasing this fall, which by the way, I think is a terrible fucking idea. Like, I think it's going to get murdered. But the game, it's like, all that cloud-based destruction on the multiplayer they didn't show any of that during the conference.
Yeah. It just looked like Crackdown.
Well, I wonder how much of that cloud-based stuff is
still there.
The cloud stuff was always garbage, but
I think there's going to be something to it. I don't think they're just going to scrap 100% of the cloud-based processing.
Well, I can tell you this much.
I know the developers have said the destructions in the multiplayer, but not in the single player.
That sounds backwards.
But people at the show said multiplayer wasn't even playable.
Yeah, like
something's off there.
And this game comes out in a couple months.
Wouldn't you expect the single-player campaign to have like the greater technology?
Yeah, I guess you have Terry Crews destroying buildings.
You know what? So apparently, well, I don't know if you guys saw the news today, but apparently you can finish Crackdown 3's story in about 3 hours. So it's obvious that multiplayer is the big focus here.
That I think is a misleading title because you can technically do the same thing with Zelda. That's assuming you don't do any side quests.
Absolutely. It makes me wonder how much. I don't know. Something. I don't know. Like I think we can all agree something tastes off about Crackdown. And
John,
was it always Sumo Digital doing it?
Yeah. Who is Sumo Digital? What other games?
Sumo Digital made the Sonic All Stars Racing Transformed game.
They did the new Little Big Planet. They've done lots of stuff.
We're good. Sumo Digital
Pass.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering, was Crackdown always developed by them? I don't remember that.
No, I don't think it was. Was it always?
Yeah, it was always somebody who was not Microsoft internal. Like it was never one of their first party people. Crackdown 3. They've been making it since. Now I'm googling. That's not.
I guess the other weird thing is that and State of Decay 2 both look like Xbox One launch titles. Like I'm sure if they're fun, it doesn't matter. But I just was kind of shocked that they looked the way they did.
Yeah.
So Scorpio conference.
Apparently, Sumo Digital is only doing the single player campaign, and Regent Games is doing the multiplayer.
Okay.
So it's 2 different developers for Crackdown.
Apparently, according to chat, Jamie said that State of Decay 2 had to be pulled from Microsoft show floor.
What?
So no one played it?
Yeah, they got pulled from the floor. That's what they said. Someone from the Glixel podcast broke the news.
Wow.
That's not good.
That's not great.
But at least that was already a 2018 game. So
yeah, but I mean, if you pull it from the show floor, that means there's the game. So there's something keeping the game from being playable, or at least it's not demoing very well.
Now, my last thing to say about Xbox before we move on is that even though a lot of their games are multi-platforms and none of them were actually exclusive, and all of that, I think Microsoft addressed their biggest issue people have had with them and their biggest complaint, which is all they've ever shown is Forza Halo Gears, but they came out this time and they showed a wide diversity of games, genres that are never on a Microsoft stage were shown. I mean, Japanese games are on stage. It's been a while since I've got those to show. I mean, even though Super Lucky's Tale isn't a game I'm going to care too much about, but they had that on stage. And they had indie games, they had Japanese games, they had major multi-platform AAA games, they had their own games, and I just think for the first time, Microsoft really shored up that weakness of theirs, which is their conferences usually got a little predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, I mean, obviously if you have a PS4 and a Switch and a PC, then maybe there's not a lot of reasons to buy stuff, but like for someone who's just looking for a game console, there's a shitload of games to play on the Xbox One and a lot of different types. So,
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess we'll go ahead and move on to Bethesda.
Ooplets was the best game to show in the Xbox conference.
What was that?
Ooplets. It's this like Pokemon Harvest Moon game. Yeah, and that's an Xbox exclusive actually, I think. And that looks really fun.
So let's move on to Bethesda. I want to be sure we hit all the conferences. And Bethesda will be shorter because they didn't show a whole lot. I thought that
2 looks dope.
I thought that Zelda and Skyrim looked incredibly creepy and.
Did you notice how
everything in Skyrim looks?
Did
creepy.
you notice how they
geez.
didn't show his face?
Probably because it looked like he was wearing somebody else's face on his like. Dude, Link's
it's probably actually like a female character, and they're like,
it's a Khajiit.
Dude, Link's hair looked like he was wearing a fucking helmet made out of like al dente spaghetti. Like it was terrible.
John, it's a 6-year-old Bethesda game.
I know, but
stop kicking them.
I'm starting to resent Skyrim because I feel like this is fucking keeping us from getting the next Elder Scrolls game.
I've been going hard on Skyrim. Like it's.
You guys want to see Skyrim on ice?
Well, we've got Skyrim VR. Yeah. We've got Skyrim on Switch. We've got a new store, a new Skyrim store. I don't think we're ever getting Elder. Yeah, we're never getting Elder Scrolls 6. It's not.
I agree. Yeah, I'm starting to think that too.
Not
but
even in development.
Not even in development.
At least
so
5 or 6 years. At least
they said last year. I think they have 2 full-scale projects the size of a Fallout or Elder Scrolls game, and both of those will release before Elder Scrolls 6. So if you assume both of those are 3 years, then
it's at least 5-6 years.
It's a long way.
Yeah, forget it.
Elder Scrolls 6.
That's fine. I mean, Bethesda has so much other stuff that is great. Like, Wolfenstein 2, man.
Yeah, Wolfenstein. Oh, it looks so good.
Like, they have a lot of studios killing it.
Wolfenstein 2 was definitely my favorite trailer.
Dude, Wolfenstein looks fucking dope. And the first...
You guys all know that like I was going into the show just caring pretty much only about Wolfenstein, and they love it.
Hey guys, just real quick in chat, Jesse says Skyrim is the new Resident Evil 4. That is a very apt comparison.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It is.
Yeah.
Skyrim coming out.
And the thing is, I guarantee you it will sell fucking gangbusters on the Switch. I guarantee it.
Dude,
I had put Skyrim on the microwave.
What was the name of the Skyrim that came out last fall? Like the
special
legendary edition? Yeah.
You couldn't have fucking paid me to play that game. The Switch version.
Got it.
I will basically. Bethesda came out and said, if you give us $50. You can play Skyrim and take a shit at the same time.
I mean, that does sound cool. Like portable Skyrim.
They haven't even clarified if Skyrim on Switch is the special edition. It seems like
it's probably not going to be.
Probably
I know it includes all the DLC for it.
Yeah, it'll be the graphics of the 360 version, probably a little bit in between.
I'm just amazed. I'm just amazed. You know what? I'm going to buy it just to see them cram fucking Skyrim onto the little tiny Switch.
It's cool. Yeah, it's awesome to have like a game of that scale on a portable device. Cool.
I know everyone's hyped about Wolfenstein, but that Dishonored DLC looks pretty sweet.
That does look good. That does look good.
Is that standalone like the Lost Legacy? Like,
yes.
Just go and buy that.
It is.
Oh, really? It's its own game.
Yeah.
Bethesda likes standalone.
There's a physical version of it, I think.
Well, there was no number in the title, so that's why I assume. Because I played like a bit of Dishonored 1, and I haven't played 2, but I'd love to get like just a little sample of that in DLC form. So
considering that Dishonored 2 didn't sell well at all, which is a travesty, I I think this will probably, given the title of the game, Death of the Outsider, I think this will probably wrap up the Dishonored series, to be perfectly honest. I think this is it. I don't think we're going to get another one.
Probably not.
Which is a real shame, because Dishonored's fucking great.
Need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in it?
No.
Like, it's okay to have a...
I mean, they're going to keep making games like that and Prey, and they might give them different names or scale down the budget, but I'm sure we'll get more of those types.
Dishonored is so much better than Prey.
So
I mean, but Bethesda is like still the publisher that's bringing us the big single player game.
I mean, we've also got
them for it.
We've also got the Evil Within 2 coming, which looks fucking great.
Which is I really am interested to see what Shinji Mikami does this time.
I love Mikami
because that guy. All right, how does everybody feel about the Evil Within?
I fucking love the Evil Within.
I played 2 hours and I hated it.
I haven't played it yet.
I am. So you go to Metacritic, and it's like critic scores. You go all the way to the bottom, and there's one in red.
Is that yours?
Which is like, this game is a pitiable, contemptible imitation of a once great creator.
Oh, Anthony, please tell me that's not your review.
It's absolutely me.
Oh, God.
On record as the lowest score for the Evil Within.
It's a very divisive game. It is a very divisive game. The scores are all over the place, honestly. It's from 9s to 5. Yeah.
John, that goddamn game, I swear to God, I had to review it in a weekend. And at one point, I'm like, why is this fucking asshole so far in front of the screen? I was like, why does he take up so much of the goddamn screen?
You're moving your head around trying to look and get a better thing.
So I literally, like, my wife walks into the living room as I'm playing it, switching between inputs with a tape measure. And I'm going back and forth between this and Resident Evil 4, being like, he fucking takes up 22% of the screen. God damn it!
So, and you know the weird thing is, man, is that now you can remove the letterboxes, and it makes it so much better.
Yeah, I can imagine. Did
that
update come out like a year after the game came out?
Yeah, it was weird.
It was a couple months. It was like,
yeah, I was like, oh yeah, guys, you don't have to put the letterboxes anymore.
So like,
you could remove the letterboxing on PC. But
with Evil Within, I loved it personally because I love Mikami and I love horror games. But I will say that Sebastian Castellanos is like one of the most wet rag,
a terrible
dumpster dive of a character I've ever
I do not like anything about the Evil Within story or characters.
Like he's in the middle of this fucking hellscape where people are rising from the grave with barbed wire wrapped around their faces and glowing shit coming out of their eyes, and there's a man with a box on his head chasing him through a fucking sewer. And his reaction...
He's way too complacent.
His reaction to seeing shit like this is, we must be collectively losing our minds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
It was bad. It was bad.
Dude, these things would have been able to find me by the trail of shit I was leaving as I ran away.
How are you as the player character, or how are you as the player supposed to be scared if the avatar you're controlling doesn't care about what's happening to him? That's how I feel about it.
Dude, he walks into a hospital floor that is covered with rusty antique wheelchairs and creepy baby dolls. It's like, try a little harder.
Yeah, like he'll see something crazy.
A little harder.
Like, Evil Within just throws all the horror tropes into a blender and spits them out. So,
but that trailer, it literally. So, do you guys know the story of how Shinji Mikami even ended up directing the Evil Within? Because he wasn't supposed to do it, but
the whole reason he started Tango Gameworks was so that he could take a step back.
Exactly. So, like, Bethesda stepped in. They were like, whoa. We gave you all that sweet ZeniMax money so that you would direct something for us. And so it was sort of like forced on him. But But, like, he did an interview last year with GameSpot, I think, where they were talking to him about Resident Evil for its 20th anniversary of the original. And he was talking about how, like, he made some comment like, I wish Resident Evil hadn't been successful so that I could have spent my 30s just being a director rather than a producer. And I've been thinking a lot about that.
That would have been cool.
So, like, I feel like maybe, like, the fire's in his fucking belly again.
Well, he's not even directing this one. He's creative producer.
No. I
Yeah.
thought they confirmed he was directing.
No. The director of Evil Within 2 is someone who's been at Capcom, Clover. He's been at Capcom since like Resident Evil 3, I think.
Oh my god.
And then he went over to Clover, and then he went over to Tango. So he was an art director on shitloads of Resident Evil games.
Wait a second. Is he the guy that made the aborted Resident Evil 4, the ghost?
With the hook man?
Yeah, the hook man?
No, so the guy that's directing Evil Within 2 has never directed a game before. He's been like an art director.
So it's new blood.
It's new blood. Yeah.
Oh.
But somebody who has a long history with Mikami at
Dio in
Clover
chat
and
says they
Capcom.
confirmed he is directing.
He is directing.
Well, they confirmed that there's two people directing. Then.
Oh, they might be co-directing.
Yeah, so Diogo says
Mikami's
that he has another
creative
person
producer.
directing too, so it looks like there's two directors. Kind of like the Russo brothers.
So this will probably be something more close to like what's the one he did with Suda?
Oh yeah, Shadows of the Dam.
Shadows of the Dam was the most underrated game ever.
Where like they both have creative input on it. There's not like one sole director.
And while we're still on the subject of Bethesda, can I point out that I love the fact that because switching gears real quick, I love the fact that we are going to America in Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah, they're going full Man in the High Castle.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly the vibe I got from it too. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, everyone expected it to be set in the.
And it looks like Frau Engel is the antagonist. It looks like she's back.
I mean, just from the name, the new Colossus alone, like if you know what the new Colossus is, you're like, oh yeah, sure.
I mean, dude, the game opens up with him dual wielding shotguns in a fucking wheelchair.
In a wheelchair. It's gonna be good, dude. I can't.
Badass.
It's gonna be so good.
I just want more monologues. I want more BJ monologues. Can't reach today, Death. I got a war to win.
I will say one thing. I don't think the Bethesda conference was worth staying up till 12 in the morning.
Absolutely not.
Well, it was for me just because
That's
I
what
cared
killed
that much
me.
about
If you're
Wolfenstein.
gonna
Yeah, I actually didn't like stay up for it, but like I woke up next morning, I saw it was like announced. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't stay up. At
I mean,
all.
like if you don't care as much about Wolfenstein as I do, like that was a bad show.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to, I think Ubisoft is next, and then we got Sony and Nintendo. Ubisoft, the surprise of E3 for me.
Yeah, they had a really good show.
I loved their show. I think it was my favorite.
Yeah, like it's just well put together.
You know, Ubisoft.
And you talked before about EA bringing that guy out on stage. I love that Ubisoft brings their creators out, and like it's awkward sometimes and like a little weird and uncomfortable, but like it's like sincere. Like they're actually passionate and they care about what they're.
That was my favorite moment of the conference. Not just the conference, but that was like the defining moment of E3 for me. It like really highlighted
that one guy in the Rabbids vs Mario.
Yes,
like the guy who's tearing up and stuff. Like that's awesome. Like we need more moments like that where we like lift the people up who make.
Michelle Ancel started with the Waterworks once they revealed the.
Well, and like that guy, like they introduced him, and you could see in his face, and this is why I love video games because the passion and the joy in that man's face. I mean, you could tell he was like I got to make a fucking Mario game. Like I got to work on a Mario game, and he was so passionate and proud about what he did that he burst into tears, and I loved seeing that, and that right there, that emotion and that passion for what you do, it's just indicative to me of what video games do for me, and which is why it was my favorite moment in the entire conference. Just summed up everything I love about gaming right there. Which is why I say that, like, you know, we all like to shit on Ubisoft because like, oh, microtransactions and, you know, serialized games, but that conference had more heart than either Sony or Microsoft's, in my opinion.
Yeah, man.
More heart.
Yeah, definitely agree.
Yeah, and like at the exact same time, it was very encouraging to see not just that display of heart, but to see that display of heart backing up a sort of recognition of flaws in the way that they've done business. You know, like the fact that The Crew 2 came out and they were just like, here is going to be this game. I swear to God, we're not going to do all this bullshit microtransaction stuff we did with the original Crew. And Skull and Bones, this giant new, very weird, unique take on multiplayer games. And we're going to basically just not talk about For Honor and all of the microtransactions.
For Honor is dead, man. That game is dead as dead can be.
It's dead, and they're turning over a new leaf, even with Assassin's Creed, being like, you know what, we took a year off. We realized that Activisioning this series really hurt it.
Yep.
And you know they're making all the right choices.
And they've
maybe
been
they're
very.
realizing they made like the wrong choices now since they're like in danger of losing
being acquired, right?
Yeah.
It's the Vivendi.
I will say one thing about Ubisoft is that I really appreciate the fact that they announced the most new IPs of any conference.
Yeah.
There was 4.
Well, I did,
when they don't pan out, like For Honor, at least they are making an effort.
well, and like
I mean,
speaking,
For Honor was still very successful for them.
speaking of
That's
UIPs,
exactly
One
what
of
I
the biggest games
love
of the year.
about
Even if nobody's
Ubisoft.
playing it,
And
They
People
still
Ubisoft,
paid
pay
$60 for it.
Ubisoft is also home for the biggest, probably 180 of gamer perception of a game. When Mario and Rabbids first leaked, people were so down on it, and then they saw the E3 presentation.
I mean, can we talk about how fucking awesome that game looks?
Yes, it looks so good.
Dude, it's fucking Mario XCOM. I'm all over that.
And then it's portable. You take it with you.
You can take a shit and play it, which is
I'll take a dump and play it. I'll take it. Yeah, fucking like that Mario plus Rabbids Battle Kingdom, which honestly, I mean, the only criticism I have about it from what I've seen is it's a terrible name. Why not just call it Mario Tactics? There you go. But Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which is going to get really tiring to say over and over. That is a gorgeous looking game, and it looks. I mean, like, even down to Mario having a skill to where, like, if the enemies are moving, he fires at them if they're not under cover. I mean, it looks like Mario XCOM, and it looks so good. And Shigeru Miyamoto being out there, and, with Yves Guillemot, and just, you could tell that they had a really good time working on this game. And I could not be more excited to play this. It looks so good.
And the other thing I want to give them credit for, a lot of people say, well, Ubisoft, they only make multiplayer games now. Well, that's not true. They've got something for everyone. They have big, huge single-player games like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry. I'm sure Mario will have it. They've got South Park. But then they also have the multiplayer stuff, and then they've got everything in between. Like, their single-player games have multiplayer components, but you can go and turn all that stuff off like you can in Watch Dogs 2. They've got seamless integrated co-op and stuff, and you just go into settings, turn off, and you just play by yourself, too. Like, they really cater to the whole crowd. And for the most part, I think they do a really good job.
And I love the risks that they've been taking. Like, Steep would not survive.
Who else would make that game?
Exactly. I was surprised they chose Steep at the show, to be honest. The Crew 2, I'm surprised that the Crew 2 even exists, because the first one wasn't exactly a monumental success.
Yeah, I was going to say, that didn't blow the sales charts up, did it? The original Crew?
Yeah, but it seems like they actually believe in what they've been investing in. They believe in these teams, and it shows. Like, that's what you were talking about earlier, the heart that they have. Coming out of these shows, they care.
You talk about them listening to people and like being receptive to feedback. I was listening to Daniel Bloodworth from Easy Allies earlier today talk about the Crew 2. He hated the first one. He's like, Crew 2, they listen to everything people wanted. That stupid story with a brother and Reg gone. There's no story. Like, it looks good. They fixed the driving controls. It's actually fun to drive. They know that everything sucked before, so the boats, like, you don't have to. It's not like Steep. One of my problems with Steep is you can't like go off a jump in skis, then switch to wingsuit and go. You have to. It's a little. So with the Crew 2, you can be in a plane, dive down towards a river, and then you just magically transform into a boat, because it doesn't have to make sense. It's just supposed to be fun. And
exactly.
For sure,
that kind of reminds me of the Driver San Francisco game. They came out a couple years ago, where it's just like
so good.
You drive a car, and then like he's like going to another fucking car, like, because why the fuck not? That game was
that's what I hated about the most recent Need for Speed. Was it's like, you want to switch cars? Oh, you got to drive all the way back to this little thing. Yeah.
So
it's just
let me
unnecessary.
switch car like anywhere I want to. Like, it's a fucking game.
So so since we're talking about Ubisoft, let's talk about the elephant in the room and discuss Beyond Good and Evil 2. Which
it's the second Beyond Good and Evil game, for those that don't know.
Yes, yeah. If the 2 didn't give it away, it's the second.
What takes place before the first one?
It's a prequel, and some of the details that came out recently about the game have greatly tamped down my excitement for the game.
I mean, it's not the Beyond Good and Evil sequel people have been waiting.
No, it's not.
14 years for.
But should we maybe just wait and see the game before?
See, here's the thing. Anthony, go ahead, man.
I was just gonna say, as for it not being the Beyond Good and Evil sequel that people were waiting for, it is the Beyond Good and Evil sequel that Michel Ancel has been trying to make since 2008. the solar system structure. This has all been the plan since we got that teaser trailer in 2008 at Ubisoft days that summer. But the unfortunate reality, and I think you're going to say the exact same thing, John, the unfortunate reality is that we're as close to playing Beyond Good and Evil 2 as we were in 2008.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a
that's a
trailer and a name.
That's a PlayStation 5, Xbox 2 game. Like that's.
Yeah.
Well, and so it's, like, here's the thing that was really jarring for me is that I love Beyond Good and Evil, and the story of Jade and Paige is one of my favorite games of all time. And if you haven't played Beyond Good and Evil, it's a fun, colorful adventure game with a lot of mystery. She's a photographer, and there's simple but really fun, effective stick-based combat. And
it's available on Xbox backwards compatibility, so check it out.
Yes, if you haven't played it, you need to do yourself a favor. It's one of those.
It's also like on Steam.
Yeah, it's on Steam and Good Old Games.
Yeah,
it's on Uplay. They actually had it for free last year.
Yeah, it's a timeless fucking game in my opinion. And then they give us the trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2, and it's full of foul, like this really
Profanity.
Huge profanity. And like I fucking swear like a sailor. I was a Marine, but it's like that's not what I expect out of it. Like, it was jarring to me because there was not a single swear word in Beyond Good and Evil, and so you've got gritty, gritty gangsters that with Cockney accents, and apparently like your player character, there's no individuality to it. It's just an avatar you create, and to me like, I don't want to sound entitled and say this isn't the Beyond Good and Evil 2 that I wanted. But it's not. I wanted a continuation of Jade's story. I wanted to see what happened with Paige. I wanted to live in that world again, and I wanted to, because Jade was such an endearing, interesting character, and now we're just being given a blank slate avatar and being told to go make your go create your own story. And if I want to do that, I'll play Fallout, or I'll play Skyrim, or I'll play Destiny. That's not why I play Beyond Good and Evil, and to me it was just jarring.
But even then, you might not. You might, like, this game.
Yeah, who knows when Vivendi takes over? They might cancel the fucking thing.
So I look like this entire scenario of Michel Ancel coming out and being like, "I wanted to make this game for 14 years. I've been trying to make it for 14 years. It's my passion project, and they're supporting my passion and your passion by making this. But all we have is the technology built and some ideas, so we want you to help us build the game in our Space Monkey program." And haven't we heard all this before with Mega Man Legends 3? Didn't this all happen already a few years ago?
Yes.
Like, this never works out.
And that game got canceled.
That game got
and part of me does not expect Beyond Good and Evil 2 to ever come out, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, like, there was more gameplay in existence for Star Wars 1313 than there is for Beyond Good and Evil 2. So, I want this game to exist in some form, but, like, that was just the coolest short movie that Michel Ancel has ever made.
I mean, what happened to Wild?
Yeah, Wild.
He's got a lot on his plate, right?
It's still coming, apparently, right?
Yeah.
Wild is hanging out with Dreams.
Yeah.
Dreams is fine. I'm telling you,
Dreams is done,
fine.
dude. Dreams is
Please
dead.
do not be alarmed.
I think Dreams has not been canceled.
I think Dreams is just being completely remodeled for PSVR at this point.
That's the only way this game is coming out, is on PSVR.
But you know what? Sony's conference is up next.
So let's talk about Sony's conference
So Dreams might have showed up. Who knows?
There's one thing I like to state, which I thought was weird. Is like, I didn't watch the PlayStation conference because the NBA Finals was on, and truthfully, I care about basketball more than video games. I got up next morning, and I can't really find anything about the PlayStation conference at all, which was really weird.
It was
PlayStation's E3.
Yeah, like the Microsoft conference. There was like tweets, like people were like tweeting and like they're going crazy. And
because it was basically, with a few exceptions, it was the same conference that we saw last year.
Yeah, it was like the director's cut.
It's like, oh yeah, there's a Shadow Colossus remaster,
which was cool. That was cool.
Without the creator, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
in fairness, it is. Yeah, it's Blue Point. And Blue Point are the ones who work directly with Ueda on the the remaster for PlayStation 3. Like they were very intimate with Team Ico for years. So
I mean,
if anybody's gonna remake it, it's them.
I'm not gonna lie, like
that's a good.
That was the rumor on Twitter, is that, hey, we're getting not a remaster, but a remake of Shadow of the Colossus, and I was like, bullshit. I said that's bullshit, and then, hey, everybody's
I didn't
wrong.
hear about that at all. So that I was like floored when I saw that.
And
Crazy.
Like it wasn't all bad for Sony, right? Like Spider-Man looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, Spider-Man looks dope.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have any a Shenmue or FF7 remake, but like watching the Sony conference, every single game that they showed, I wanted to play. Like Uncharted, I'm in. God of War, I'm in. Detroit, I'm in. Horizon DLC, I'm in. Monster Hunter World, never played Monster Hunter. I'm in. Spider-Man looks amazing. Like there wasn't like a huge moment, but it was solid.
And that's
Jeff, they're all exclusives. Like everything you just listed is like. Yep. You can only play it on that box.
Pretty ridiculous.
Actually, Monster Hunter you can play on the Xbox One.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Monster Hunter, yeah.
Spider-Man and Detroit and all that,
But they gave VR a lot of love. Like Skyrim is huge.
And they had a whole section dedicated to Vita.
Skyrim, for as much shit as we've given it this podcast, like that's a huge. I mean, the game's sold like freaking pancakes at IHOP. Like
Skyrim's
it's
a bigger
ridiculous, and so having that on that platform is going to be huge for them.
And it's Skyrim, like it's like the full game. It's not. Yeah. If I'm understanding that right.
Yeah. No, you are. Yeah.
So like,
the thing about Sony though is it's like I said with Xbox, how they fix their biggest flaw by showing a diverse range of games. The biggest complaint about Sony conferences is the joke is always they announce games that won't be coming out for 4 to 5 years. So Sony traded those megaton hype moments that everyone tweets about in exchange for concrete gameplay of a bunch of the games that they previously announced. And eventually you're going to have a year like that. You can't keep announcing these games that are never coming out. And they just doubled down and showed true gameplay of all these games. And I think it made for a less exciting conference, but it also allowed us to know what these games are about. And I think it was a fair trade-off.
But there were also some glaring omissions, in my opinion. I'll name 3 right off the bat. 1, no Sucker Punch.
True.
2,
no
PSX. 2, and I know it's coming at PSX, but I feel like we've been waiting long enough. This would have been a good time to kind of drop that on us. And 2, like we talk about games that are only available on PlayStation, and this addresses something that Jesse said in chat. He said, "I don't get the hate for that conference." I don't think anybody here hated the conference. I didn't. I thought it was a solid conference, but at the same time, games like Detroit, Days Gone, where are the release dates? There's still no release dates for these games, which tells me that we're probably not getting them in 2018.
Yoshida came out and said
Detroit actually, isn't in Great Depression. So never.
So Yoshida came out and did an interview after, I think it was the one with Greg Miller, and he basically just said, we know we have a problem with delaying games. We had to delay Uncharted like twice or 3 times. So we're not going to tell you the release date until we know we're going to hit the release date. And games are so complex and there's so much involved, especially when they were a year off, to hit an exact day. You might not get release dates until a month before.
I also who just mentioned PSX a second ago?
I just said I think that's when we see Sucker Punch.
See, Jeff, and I think you're absolutely right. Like the reality is that Sony doesn't need to put all of its eggs into the E3 basket anymore. And they've been moving in that direction for years now. Like E3 2015 was like just cudgeling the entire world with things like Final Fantasy VII Remake and Shenmue. But like you were saying, man, like that's them announcing stuff that's not going to come out for years and years. PSX is when they do release dates, when they say like, here is all the stuff that is actually going to be out in the next 12 months. Like PSX is where you get the announcement that Sega is going to localize 2 exclusive Yakuza games and stuff like that. So, all the big stuff for Sony is Gamescom, TGS, and PSX at this point. I don't think E3 is as important to them as it used to be.
I think E3 basically at this point is just more like a recap of like, hey, we've announced these games in the past. Yeah. Like, here's just a quick reminder. Here's like an update.
Well, like, do you guys think that like that's partially our fault for expecting too much after like Year of Dreams 1 and Year of Dreams 2? Like,
Sony had to do like Year of Dreams 1, Year of Dreams 2 to like save their own asses.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was pissing
And
me
then
off
permission,
after
they
every
got themselves
conference.
like a place right now, like where they don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
JT.
What were you saying, JT?
Yeah, JT. What
It
were you
pissed
saying?
me off. Like after every conference, people are like, "Who does shit? Where's the surprises? Where the games at? Let's get some exciting stuff." I'm like, dude, like if you're seriously complaining about this E3, we've had a great E3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad at all. Like,
Where's
this
Skate
E3,
4?
like, it's making my backlog cry right now because like I
Where's
want to
Skate
play. I want
4?
to play everything.
The
I wanna
reason
play
is
everything that
people
I've seen.
expect E3 to be the mega. They're expecting now those megaton hype announcements. Like that's why Beyond Good and Evil 2 made such shockwaves. It was one of only two of those types of announcements, and both of them are far flung out. But it shows that people, even though rationally we want games that are coming out sooner and that we see gameplay for, the hype and excitement are all around those huge surprise announcements like Beyond Good and Evil 2 or the Year of Dreams announcements.
Hold on,
So-
did you say RuneScape 4? A while ago?
what?
Did I?
The other thing about Sony is
playing that
they
back
announced
in my head.
the crazy thing about Sony was is that they had their pre-show that had a lot of content in it as well.
Yeah. Undertale Vita, dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like I wrote it down. They announced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 things at the pre-show.
So, speaking of the pre-show, I don't have any left, but I'd like to pour one out for Gran Turismo because damn, how the mighty have fallen.
It's great. It's Gran Turismo's sport.
But,
It's not.
I mean, it's a great-
not the big gun.
But it's a Gran Turismo game, and like back in the day, and we all know when the day was. Like back in the day, Gran Turismo was a legit system seller.
Yeah,
for
but John,
PlayStation.
so was Ridge Racer. Those racing games in general just aren't what they used to be.
It's
Like,
I mean, hey, Microsoft brought out the Porsche for Forza, so apparently it's the
But
same.
Microsoft doesn't know. Like, I think that if Microsoft was like, we need to cut costs, our E3 show needs to be lean this year, then a car would just show up. Like in the middle of the show,
pretty much, yeah.
Like a car would just drive in and hit Phil Spencer, and nobody would know why. It would just they can't have a conference without a car.
We can't get Microsoft shit for that. Sony had like upside down zombie hanging from the ceiling.
that was
weird. I was like, what the hell? Like,
we're gonna have the super serious conference and it's like these writhing dudes upside down.
like for the people viewing it on stream, we only saw it for like 3 seconds, so it's like there's nothing. I was like, why? Like, why is it there? Like,
And then there was no other props the rest of the time. It was just
and so
guys.
Can we talk about what an amazing 2018 Sony's going to have, though?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
I mean, fucking Spider-Man, God of War, Shadow of the Colossus. I mean, what else is coming out next year for Sony?
Shenmue 3.
Yeah, you're not
Shenmue
playing that.
3,
Yeah, that's
end
not
of
coming out next year.
2018. Uses
Like,
it.
the first level of Shenmue 3 will be done in 2018.
But yeah, like I didn't think Sony's conference was bad. I just thought it was more of the same. Although
It was more of a recap.
Although like Spider-Man, I can't like Brandon and I like whoever didn't.
I was all about the Spider-Man. Yeah, I mean
That's
it's
awesome.
QT, it's QT fest, but like whatever.
Only in
Yeah,
certain
but
sections,
basically,
though.
like, have you guys ever played Ninja Blade?
Oh
This
yes.
is old
I
From
did. Yeah,
Software.
the From
Oh,
Software game.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Right. Yeah.
Right, like, and those QuickTime events in Ninja Blade are fucking awesome. Like, knocking a wrecking ball off of its chain into the face of a giant spider in front of a full moon. Fine, I'll press X when that happens. Awesome. Like,
I
if
feel the
Spider-
same. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I played Ninja.
I-
That sounds like every.
Yeah.
That sounds like every date I've ever been on with my wife. I mean, you know. It's,
I
Just
have
kidding.
I have a fun fact about Ninja Blade, really quick.
Oh,
I completed it on the On Live service. If you guys remember that shit show.
oh wow.
what? Holy shit! With the play delay and everything.
Yeah.
Wow, that's Jay. That is persistence, man. But yeah,
Yeah, my
that's-
grandfather thought that streaming like games would be like the next big thing. So he bought me like the On Live console and the controller.
Oh my god!
Well, and
And I
like,
did-
Collector's items now.
I want to jump off something that Jeff had said about the Sony conference. It's like we're still getting some great Sony experiences this year. I mean, the Uncharted Lost Legacy, the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC is coming out this year. I mean, there are some great. I mean, who knows? GT Sport might fucking slay. I mean, and that
Yakuza Kiwami, man.
yeah. I mean,
I'm sure we'll get GT Sport Prologue this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there are some great Sony experiences coming out this year, and Sony has already had a fucking amazing first half of the year. Like, I mean, just game after game. I mean, Gravity Rush 2, Neo, Nier. I mean, just all kinds of good stuff dropping for Sony. Yakuza 0. Sony's already having a great year. So it's not like it's all
maybe
bad.
Like E3 just seems so disappointing.
Yeah. It was weird to see Sony not emphasize Destiny 2 very much.
That was strange.
I thought that would get a huge blowout there for sure.
Yeah, and because that's their holiday game. Like, Destiny 2 is the PlayStation 4 game this Christmas.
And I think we see a ramp up of that as we go on. Like, football season starts hitting up, and we're gonna get sick of seeing that Destiny commercial like this.
Honestly, I was actually impressed that they didn't give us the typical 10-minute Call of Duty campaign mission demo and another 10-minute Destiny demo, because that's what we were all expecting.
So on Call of Duty, question: did anyone know that was a multiplayer trailer we saw?
Oh, was it?
Really?
For their new mode.
That trailer was a multiplayer trailer. That was nothing from the campaign.
It looks really good, dude. Like, I'm glad we're boots on the ground again. I mean, this is the first Call of Duty in years it's actually piqued my interest in a serious way. I just don't know with everything else coming out that I'm going to have time for it.
Yeah,
I doubt I'll play it. It looks cool.
Because, I mean, look at fucking October. I mean, you've got The Evil Within 2, Wolfenstein, fucking Super Mario Odyssey. I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to do for October? Like, shit.
You're supposed to play Super Mario Odyssey.
That's so, and so with Super Mario, and so with that being said, Nintendo. Holy shit, Nintendo.
1 second. Before we move on from Sony, I just wanted to...
Please.
I want to give people a warning, because I talked to you about this on Twitter too, John. We talked about them kind of playing catch up with and all their previous announcements biting them. We now know basically what every first party studio is working on, except for Sucker Punch.
Yes.
You're not going to see anything from Naughty Dog next year that isn't The Last of Us 2. You're not going to see anything from Santa Monica, their God of War. You're not going to see anything from Ben. It stays gone. So it's going to be 2 or 3 years before you get big first-party reveals from them. So people need to temper their expectations for next year's E3 as well.
Yep, that's a great point.
Other than third-party deals or another remaster or nostalgia grab, there's not going to be a lot of megatons.
Jeff, next year Sony will just be like, here's a new trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
But nobody wants to play old games. They don't hold up.
They don't hold up.
Buy the Crash Bandicoot Trail G this month.
That's another thing that was weird. Like, Crash Bandicoot's coming out at the end of the month. Where the hell was Crash?
Yeah,
Next year,
was in the
Spider-Man will have been released, and Insomniac is going to release their Resistance 4 trailer.
At least they didn't show Death Stranding. I'm like, please don't do Death Stranding. Like, that game is...
That's going to happen next year.
Speaking of games that aren't real. Speaking of phantom games that are just... Honestly, whenever I think about I wish I had a camera inside of Kojima Productions, because I'm sure that if we're and now we go live to the development of Death Stranding, it would just be all the lights out, and you just see Kojima sitting in the back in the dark, and Mads Mikkelsen not wearing a shirt, just being like, "Can I go now? You're not even filming me. Can I leave?" And
Kojima's just not even paying attention to me, just taking a selfie or something. With, with his feet up on the desk, just looking off in the distance.
Just tweeting King Kong is a good movie.
All day. 27
playing with a bunch of action figures or something on a table.
My world exclusive dispensing machine to have
That's what he's doing. That's the creation of that game. That's how much of it is finished. It's a naked German actor trying to ask a disinterested 55-year-old Japanese man if he can go home.
Could I please put my shirt on?
Is he 55?
Oh yeah, Hideo Kojima is 55 years old.
Yeah, no, dude. Yeah, he's
that's insane.
Yeah, he's getting
up
there, man.
He looks like he's 14.
He doesn't. Yeah, he looks like he's 12. Like he does not look his age at all. But
low key, I think an impressive thing was Supermassive came out with 2 announcements at their show.
Oh yeah. The Inpatient.
They announced one at the pre-show and one on the stage.
Aren't they making 3 games?
They're making
Was it
3
two?
actually.
Bunch of VR
The-
stuff. It
so-
looks
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
pretty
Well,
sure
and-
they're making like 3 games.
And one of them, Hidden Agenda, is set in the same universe as Until Dawn.
Yeah, that's
which
the
is
Instation.
like
shit.
60
Yeah,
years
it's-
prior.
It's
Yeah.
a party game where everyone has their phone and they make the decisions together. Everyone makes their decisions on the phone, and then it tallies up the winning vote, and that's how it plays. So you're basically
That
playing
sounds
an
awesome.
Until Dawn story, but it's done by committee. It's billed as a horror party game.
That sounds like the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
So it's
really
kind of like,
cool.
it's
No,
kind of
it's
Jackbox
also
Party,
good.
but for
Just because
horror.
it's not for you, John, just because you don't like people and partying. doesn't-
And then you
What are you talking about? I don't like partying. My
Yeah,
shirt's
what are you-
off, man. I love to party.
Just because John takes off his shirt every single time somebody says,
All right,
"Let's
fine,
have a party."
fine. I'll prove it. These pants are coming off.
Oh
Oh
no,
my gosh.
it's happening.
All right, and we'll see you next week on 64 Gamescast.
All right, so let's finish up with Nintendo. Speaking of Phantom games that we never thought would exist, anybody who was watching me and Finneman and Gabe stream the Nintendo conference, don't wear your headphones around the 4-minute mark, because when Metroid Prime 4 showed up, I about lost my fucking shit.
You
over a
believed and
logo.
then you doubted.
You mean the screenshot of the
Yeah,
logo.
and I'm fine with it.
You mean the Photoshop? The Photoshop of the Metroid Prime 3 box?
Yeah,
that has
I'm-
a
yeah.
4 on it now.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I'm fine. And by the way, I want to point out, Metroid Prime 4 is the that same day was number 10 on the Amazon best-selling games list. And it had that fucking photoshopped box that you were just talking about. It's the only image it had.
Dude, I'm telling
Wow,
you.
sorry, join the ranks of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, it's sitting
No.
right there next to Final Fantasy VII Remake and
No.
And
That is a
covers and
that's a holiday 2018 game, I think.
yeah, I think that's reasonable. I think the most exciting thing about Metroid Prime 4 is finding out that it is a new internal team at Nintendo.
Headed up by
That's
the
cool.
series producer, though.
Which is great.
And I will point out that people, a few people said, "Oh, John, it just doesn't have development. There's no way it's coming out next year." But I will point out that Liam Robertson, who actually broke, he said, like, he's about 6 months ago. He said, just so you guys know, there's Metroid's coming, like it's being worked on. Laura Kate Dale said the same thing, and then what's his face? There was a big Nintendo YouTuber 6 months ago who said, Metroid's coming. I don't know which studio is doing it, but Metroid is coming. And Liam Robertson, who's at Doc Cupcakes on Twitter, he's a big Nintendo insider. He said, I can tell you right now that he's right. He's like, I haven't seen the video, but there is a Metroid game in development. So that game has been in development longer than people think it has.
Yeah, and what's his name? The producer who's been on the Prime series from the beginning. When he was talking about when he was doing one of his Federation Force interviews last fall, he was like, "Yeah, I have big ideas for the story of Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
It's going to be about Psylocke and."
Well, and
Yeah.
you also have to remember, like early this year, I think it was in January, actually, February. Reggie did an interview, and he said, you want to ask me about Metroid? And the interviewer was like, yeah, and he says, well, I'll tell you what. He says, we know that our fans have been waiting for the next true installment in some series that they love, and all I'll say is talk to me this time next year, and we'll see where we're at. So the game has been in the oven for some time now. So I think I think they showed it at E3 simply because they knew that fans wanted something. And if they had just shown Samus Returns on 3DS but no Metroid Prime 4, people might have fucking revolted.
I don't know, man. I feel like, especially after Federation Force, Samus Returns would have been enough after Federation.
Oh, I'm stoked about it, man.
Yeah, I'm so excited about the idea, and I think it looks great. Mercury Steam does not make good games.
Are you trying to tell me that Lords of the Shadow on 3DS isn't a masterpiece?
Oh, God.
Oh boy, have you guys played that game start to finish?
It's bad.
No.
Yep, it's bad.
have you?
It has, yeah, dude. I reviewed it, and it has the same counter moves that are in Samus Returns. It's literally like
Although to be fair, people who have played it at E3 said, "Hey, this is really good."
Yeah, they say like it's got like the Metroid feel, like Samus's physics are right. I'm in. Like, I trust Nintendo to guide somebody who doesn't like Next Level Games. Next Level Games makes things that are well-intentioned but not great, like that Captain America movie tie-in game for 360. Right, like, but like there were parts of it that were cool. They basically were like, let's take the combat from Arkham Asylum and put it into a Captain America game where Captain America has to walk through 3 hours of cardboard boxes. Like, it was well-intentioned, but not totally there.
That's such a fucking great description for that game.
But then, like, Next Level Games goes to Nintendo, and when Nintendo is overseeing them, they can make something like Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. So, like, having Nintendo's producers there, that sort of patience, that refinement, that budget, I have a lot of faith. But Mercury Steam, like, Lords of Shadow 2 and Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate are so fucking bad.
Which is weird because Lords of Shadow 1 was really good.
Yeah, Lords of Shadow 1 is great. And Hideo Kojima was the producer on that.
Yeah.
And while Mercury Steam was making it, Hideo Kojima was just constantly sitting in the corner. He forced Patrick Stewart to be there with his shirt off. And they were like, can we please stop working? Hideo Kojima didn't say anything.
Is your chest as smooth as your head?
So I actually, but before I forget, real quick, I want to ask JT a question.
What's up?
Because so yo, hear me out, all right?
Yo, throw this question at me.
Yo, I'm about to drop some hotness on you, okay?
Dude, I'm ready.
So when we were watching the Nintendo conference and I saw Rocket League come up, I thought about you immediately. So I want to hear from our Rocket League guy what your thoughts about that were.
Well, first of all, thank you for thinking of me. That's awful.
I'm always thinking about you, especially when I got my shirt off.
Thank you.
It's not weird.
Well.
It's not weird either. Like, it's completely acceptable.
But so, disclaimer: I have not actually watched the conference, but I do know that as soon as it happened, I was busy doing something at work. But as soon as that happened, I got like about 5 notifications in my Twitter feed, just like RIP Flunky, like like you're not gonna, like this is it, this is your game. And so I'm thankful that this is happening because of course I'm glad that more people are going to be playing this game. Playing this on the go is going to be awesome. But I really hate that this is happening because it's just going to give me an excuse to play all the time now. Like I don't have to be at home to play it, you know. But this is cool. Like, I mean, and crossplay too. Like that's perfect.
Sony,
this is like the perfect game to usher in like a new era of crossplay. And I feel like Sony's really missing the boat about that.
Yeah.
Like we could hammer that into the ground. But you know, just keeping things positive. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Like being able to crossplay with people. Like if we have buddies on Xbox, you know, we want to play with them. I got my Switch on me in a hotel room. Let's do it.
Well, and I feel like Rocket League is just the perfect game to have on the Switch, right? Like it makes sense. You can play it for 10 minutes and feel fulfilled and get some gear for your car. So I was super happy to see Rocket League on Switch. I mean, it's just
I think it would lend itself well to you know, the split screen co-op if that is working in it. I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see how that works.
Yeah, because I mean there are some obvious limitations, and Rocket League isn't the easiest running game at high settings, so they're probably gonna have to make some sacrifices on visual fidelity in that regard.
Is there a way to play local in any version of Rocket League?
Yeah, you can play split screen.
You just play split screen.
Yeah,
that is one more thing that's just gonna make this version kick ass.
Right. Yeah,
being able to just play with that little half a Joy-Con that's cool as hell.
And some people in chat are saying Overwatch next, please. You guys need to forget that. And I think we should also talk about how amazing Super Mario Odyssey looks.
That looks awesome.
That looks fucking outstanding.
Just awesome.
I just like how I like the fact that Mario's just like God now, and he can just control anything with his hat.
So
he's like,
actually,
he's like, yo, I want to be the president of the United States. Let me just throw my hat on him.
So
they gave him guns. They gave him like an all-controlling hat.
Did you guys see the guy on Twitter who was like, "What if Mario has been controlled by his hat all these years?" Dude, it blew my fucking mind. I was like, holy shit, what if he has?
Do we know what the hat's name is?
Yeah, it's Cappy.
It's Cappy.
Cappy, yeah, Cappy. Cappy the Cap.
Which is a really
Cappy the
stupid
Cat.
fucking name, but whatever. Like,
Cappy the Cap's going to cap some people.
I just, you could say that Mario is going to put a cap in that ass.
Oh.
Right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Come on, I don't have a shirt on. You guys are supposed to laugh.
That Peach wedding night is going to get intense. That's a shame.
Yeah.
That is... How does Bowser... I want to ask, how does Bowser get a wedding suit on with his shell over it? He's an animal. He can't take his shell off.
He brings
You get custom tailored at your local men's warehouse.
Yeah, it's bespoke.
Yeah,
Get that taken care of.
I am super excited
the
about
highest quality leather.
the high school leather.
Corinthian Goomba leather.
Like Super Mario Odyssey, it looks like a return to Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
And dude, this game is going to fucking clean up this holiday. Yep. Like, it is going to clean up. It is easily going to outsell. And it's coming out, and what the real bitch of it is that it's coming out on the same day as Wolfenstein 2.
Oh, poor Wolfenstein.
And
that
Assassin's Creed.
And Assassin's Creed.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, if I mean, all those games are going to sell. People are going to buy the shit out of them. If Nintendo can keep enough Switches on shelves this fall, that is just going to destroy everyone.
Mm-hmm.
If they can actually manufacture the 18 million they want, Switch is going to win the holidays.
I said that on Twitter, and people thought I was nuts. But if they can keep up with the demand, it's going to I don't care about the Xbox One X. It is going to outsell the PS4 and the Xbox brands if they can keep up with demand, and that's a big if.
Hasn't Mario Kart 8 Deluxe already sold the most copies of any game this year?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you right now, it's I had heard that it is going to be the highest selling SKU for the May NPDs, which is huge considering it's an exclusive.
Yeah,
and
it's only like a 2 months time span. I mean, I'm sure people obviously can do that at the same time.
I mean, the possibility it is so nice to see Nintendo back on top. And people in chat think I'm nuts. No, I guarantee you, if the Switch can keep up with demand this holiday, it will win the day. I guarantee it.
It will. We will see a Christmas for Nintendo. Like, I'm not talking like 2008 November when Wii and DS were like billions upon billions of systems, but this is going to be the best year Nintendo has had.
I mean, it's like, okay, Wolfenstein 2 is great. It doesn't have the mass appeal that a Mario game does. The Evil Within 2, great. Horror games sure as hell don't have the mass appeal that Mario does. Call of Duty happens every year, right? Assassin's Creed is interesting, but this is a brand new mainline Mario console title that you can take anywhere you go. For me, it's not even a contest. Like if Nintendo can make enough Switches, they're going to fucking dominate. Like, I don't understand how anybody can think otherwise.
I think it's just great that we are seeing a game that acknowledges that it's a game and it's just having fun with that. Like, it just looks fun.
It does. It
doesn't look serious. It's like, we know this is a game. It's like, we know what people want from Mario. It's like, let's just put all that together.
I mean,
Mario, just go with it.
Nintendo's having a great year. Like, we've also got Xenoblade Chronicles 2 coming out this year.
No,
they're doubling down on 2017, man. They're like, no, here it comes.
John.
I don't think Xenoblade's coming out this year if Mario's coming out.
I think
Monolith Soft hasn't delivered a game on time ever.
Yeah, that too.
I smell a bet.
All right, name your terms. Because if you go back to freaking 2001, they even had to delay. The first game they as a studio had to be delayed 3 months.
I feel it in my chest hair, man. I feel it in my chest hair. It's coming.
Way that game comes out this year.
It's coming. So here's
nobody's localizing it. No, 8.4. The people that have done Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles X, they're not even working on it. So who's making that English script?
I'm going to come up with some terms, and we're going to do a bet on Twitter over this.
All right, done.
It's going down, like, because
I'm 100% in.
Because December 2017, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. You can lock it in. You heard it here first on SDGC. It's going to happen. So let me come up with some terms. We also learned that we're getting a mainline Pokemon game, which is in the most anticlimactic way ever. It's like, hi, I'm from the Pokemon Company, and we're making a new mainline Pokemon game. Have a nice night. That was it.
Yep.
That was the reveal. I was like, okay, well,
yeah,
whatever.
I mean, they can announce a mainline Pokemon game like a month before it comes out, and it'll sell crazy. They don't need to announce that like a year beforehand.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not. The thing is like a mainline Pokemon title. All people have to know is that it's coming on the Switch.
Yeah,
that's all it takes.
There doesn't be like any hype for it. It's just like, oh yeah, it's coming out next month. Like,
now let me ask you guys a question. And I want to rope in Jeff and JT and everybody else on this one. Do you guys think so? I was surprised. One surprise for me for the Nintendo Direct was that we didn't see any Smash Deluxe or Smash Remaster. I would assume they would call it Smash Brothers Deluxe. Do you think that's because of Pokken Tournament?
I
Yes.
honestly, yeah.
They don't want to cannibalize their fighters. We'll get Smash Deluxe in a direct, probably with an early 2018 release date or something, but let Pokken have the spotlight for now.
it's also not coming out at the same time as Mario Odyssey.
Do you guys actually think Pokken Tournament is going to sell?
The first one sold 1 million copies, man.
It's true.
The Wii U version sold 1 million copies. So
it is on Evo. Pokken made it to
Really?
Evo.
No shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm as surprised as anyone else. That game, I mean, 1 million global, but like
Now,
still,
It's sold
part
well,
of
but
it chalked up to the absolute thirst for any Wii U game at that point in its life cycle. But I think, as we've seen twice now, releasing a Wii U upgraded deluxe port is money.
yeah,
for the
dude,
Switch.
I mean, only the install base for the Wii U never eclipsed 17 million. Like, that's a very small crowd. All
Which
these
is
games
insane.
are new to people. We're gonna see every Wii U exclusive on this machine.
You think
With,
you're talking about like the one like so you think we'll get ports of Bayonetta 2 and the Wonderful 101 and
I was
games
just
like
gonna say, I think Wonderful 101 actually might not happen because there is so much little like hardware stuff in the Wii U gamepad that you really need for that, and people keep forgetting that the Switch doesn't have a camera. So any game that involves a camera.
Now, what about like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze? Can you see that being ported?
Absolutely.
Oh,
why wouldn't they?
I really want Metroid Prime Trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be fucking fantastic. And honestly, I would be shocked if we didn't get that to hold tide us over until Prime 4. I would be surprised if that didn't happen.
I never played
won't
Metroid
be
Prime.
music.
So
Oh, Jeff, you never played him?
Oh, it's so
I did.
good.
My 2 Nintendo systems I've owned were an N64 and a Wii U.
So the two
I didn't have a
systems that
Wii U,
never
but
got
I
a
have a
Wii.
Wii.
Do you still own the Wii U? Because you can play the remastered version on the.
I have it on it, but my Wii U's retired. I'm on the Switch now. I'm not going back.
Oh
I'm
no,
not taking
dude,
that out.
no, dude! You have to go back and play Prime.
I got no
Yeah.
time, man. Look at 2017. I got no time.
Switch is just like the perfect
I've actually never played the Prime games
every
either.
single
Oh,
Nintendo
Jay.
game on it. It makes me want like Super Mario Sunshine, like Wind
Yeah.
Waker, like
Give
release
me all of it.
those.
It
And
makes
I
me
will-
want fucking every game on it. Period.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
that's a good question.
If
And
only
John,
there was a service that lets you play old games. If only.
John, what would you say would be your most requested Wii U?
Xbox
port.
game library.
I mean, it's got to be 2 of them. Either Smash, because I didn't own a Wii U. Either Smash Brothers or Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Man, that's easy.
You want Tropical Freeze, trust me.
Both
Yeah.
of those are incorrect answers. You want
Yes, Tropical
Nintendo
Freeze.
Treasure Tracker.
Tropical Freeze was the best game I played in my Wii U.
Yeah, that's
Tropical
the.
It's
Freeze is
fucking amazing.
Anthony gets it.
Yeah, if Brandon is telling me Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, then it's probably got to be Donkey Kong.
I don't like
It's
2D
an amazing
platformers, and it was my favorite Wii U game, probably.
It is a 9.5 out of 10.
The last few levels are pretty fucking frustrating though.
It
I
is
want
an
it's a hard
extremely
game.
high difficulty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's hard as balls.
it is a hard-ass game.
Tropical Freeze would be, and like this is why I'm so excited about the idea of a Switch port, because have you guys ever played the 3DS version of Donkey Kong Country Returns?
Yeah,
Yeah.
99 billion times better than the Wii version, right?
because you could just play without the waggle.
No waggle, and they rebalance the difficulty. Tropical Freeze with improved, checkpointing and like checkpointing for bosses, that is 10 out of 10. Perfect game.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually I'm sorry. Go ahead, Anthony. I didn't realize you were on.
I was just going to say, nobody said Bayonetta 2, and Bayonetta 2.
Bayonetta 2 is my game of the year 2014.
There you
go. Oh, I would love to get a port of Bayonetta 2 for the Switch.
And that was the same year Wolfenstein: The New Order came out. So
wait, I fucked up. So it's what is the biggest request for a Wii U game on Switch? Devil's Third. I fucked that up.
Oh God, no! Why?
What? We forget.
Why?
I'm kidding.
That is the hottest take tonight.
I
still own
the Switch needs more 3 out of 10 games.
So we've actually got a question in chat. Dan Wisenhunt wants to know. He says, "What's up with no virtual console at E3?"
I think they're trying to work it out, man.
Yeah, he aimed that question at you, John. So he wants
outside direct.
He just wants me to answer because I'm not wearing a shirt.
Well, no, he wants you to rage because
I'm not going to do that though. I'm not going to give in. I'm not going to give in.
So here's a question. I haven't followed Nintendo's announcements a lot. Like, is virtual console an E3 thing, or is that the type of thing they would just do in a direct? Because that's what I feel like.
Dude, nothing's an E3 thing anymore for Nintendo.
Yeah,
they're completely on their own schedule, and that's why these E3 things. It's why like something like Samus Returns doesn't even show up in the proper direct. Like they're just like, oh yeah, a 2D Metroid game afterwards. They'll have a direct at the end of the summer. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we hear about Smash Brothers this year.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
Oh, easy on the Animal Crossing. Jeff is still sore about that.
Jeff wants the Animal Crossing. That's all I want.
Jeff is still upset about Animal Crossing.
You see, Jay's profile picture. That is me every morning.
I'll buy a Switch when Animal Crossing gets announced.
Yeah, and
I get it's coming.
It's coming to your phone before. I've said this forever. I've said this probably.
Don't say that. Don't do that to Jeff.
It's coming to your phone.
I know it's coming. I know it's coming to the phone first.
But like the Animal Crossing thing that comes out on phone early next year is not going to be like Animal Crossing. It's not going to be the real thing.
It's going to be like the Pokemon Go primer for like the mainline Animal Crossing, and then it's going to sell Buku and like just be. Yeah.
I think it's some kind of direct this year
on 3DS again.
I think at a direct this year you'll get Animal Crossing, you'll get your Smash, you'll get Stardew. You'll probably get Stardew Valley on a direct this year, I have no doubt. Just like Metroid, I'm sure it's coming. I mean, it's Animal Crossing and it's extremely popular. They know it's going to sell billion fucking copies on the Switch. It's coming. It's just a matter of when. But I mean, there were so many other games on that direct that looked great. Like Yoshi looked fantastic. Kirby looks fucking great. And these games are coming in 2018, which is the best part. We don't have to wait all that long.
I'm a little disappointed about Kirby, actually.
Why?
It looks like a 3DS game.
So, well, I love Kirby games. I'm playing Squeak Squad as we speak. Like, that's what's in my 3DS right
heard of that one.
You need to be playing Planet Robobot if you haven't.
I freaking 100% of that game.
That game is fucking
awesome.
outstanding.
But I'm a little bummed out because I was really hoping that this was the time that HAL was going to actually make like a free roaming 3D Kirby game, because they've prototyped that. They've tried to make like a free roaming sort of Mario 64 style Kirby game. They tried to do it on N64. They tried to do it on GameCube, and they've never done it.
It's not going to happen for a while, ever.
That could be really interesting. Didn't they just make a Kirby like Smash Brothers?
Yeah, that like fighter. The fighter thing is actually in a couple of the. It's like a mini game in previous Kirby's, and they just released like a standalone version for 3DS that's free to play. It's cool. It's cool.
Like my favorite Kirby of all time is Kirby Canvas Curse. Rainbow Curse was the second one.
Yeah.
Canvas Curse was like the best time I ever had, because like it was whenever the DS just came out, and it was like, oh, this is so cool. You can play games with your touch thing. Like, this is the best. And like it was just so fun. Like it was so intuitive, and it worked so well. Like using the top screen and bottom screen together, and just like all that. Or no, like it was just the bottom screen. Because
Kirby's
riding
like it's one of the series that like I'm fine but never like actually progresses.
Yeah.
Like its whole thing because like it's just fun to play as it is and it's relaxing.
And they're always good. And they're always like people,
they're always good.
There's that reputation too that they're really easy, which if you're not trying to 100% Kirby, they're pretty easy. But if you're trying to get like every single stage, every single collectible, they're hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, like, while I was playing Planet Robobot, which was one of my favorite games last year, I kept thinking to myself, as I was playing my Switch this year, I'm like, man, I would love like Planet Robobot on my Switch. Like, it would look so good on this fucking thing. But I mean, I thought Nintendo. Like if we're talking about like best in show, like I thought Nintendo's Direct rivaled Ubisoft simply because like you had Sony come out and they're they're throwing games at you that they're not giving release dates. Microsoft is coming out and talking about power and resolution and throwing some just, if I may say, really ridiculous buzzwords at you like perfect pixels and terrifying clarity and it's almost not fair. And I'm like, Jesus, God, you guys are getting creamed worldwide. You really don't have any room to be that arrogant. But honestly, like when Reggie came out there to start the spotlight off and he said, games are fun. That's why we play them. Let's go enjoy them together. And it just kicked off. And it was classic Nintendo, just fun all around. And it just really put a smile on my face. And it just everything like again like Ubisoft, like that guy who burst into tears, a developer for Battle Kingdom. Everything about Nintendo and kind of like how they're bringing the fun back and how they're and Metroid Prime 4 being there and a 2D Metroid on 3DS, it tells me that they are listening. They are finally starting to listen. They are finally starting to listen to the fan base. Like there are still some unanswered questions that we have that we need answered. Like what's going on with Virtual Console? Like we said earlier, what's going on with the online service? When can we upload our games into the cloud or onto an SD card off that Switch? Because if something happens to my Switch, my 95 hours in Breath of the Wild. And Anthony, you've already been down this fucking road.
I sure have. Yeah, that's right.
And I just Nintendo has a lot of questions to answer, but overall, I couldn't be happier with the direction they're going, and I thought they had a great E3. So to close the show out real quick, JT, you gotta go.
Close the show.
We gotta close the show.
I had two questions, but maybe I'll just shorten it to one. I want everyone.
I'll just dip out. I gotta go. So
okay. Sorry,
it's been a good show.
We
good hanging out with you.
We love
Anthony.
you, JT.
Always JT. Always awesome hanging out with y'all. So have a good night.
Yeah, we're wrapping it up in 5 minutes anyway. 5 minutes here anyway. Jeff, go ahead, man.
So I'm curious what everyone thinks. What will review better by the end of the year, Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild?
Mario Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey. Ooh.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Like that's crazy to be saying.
I give it to Breath of the Wild.
No, I think here's a prediction. Mario Odyssey comes in at a 98 meta.
Yeah, I think that there is actually like the possibility that we'll see like a 100 meta.
I think Mario Odyssey is going to end up not only being the highest reviewed game of the year, but one of the highest reviewed games ever.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We could have 2 games of the generation within 12 months.
On one console, Jeff, on the same console.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Overall, what a great fucking year for games this is going to be, right? Like, there's something for everybody this year, and it's just awesome to fucking see. And this E3 like really just drove that home for me. Yeah, you could sit here and criticize Microsoft and Sony's conferences and Bethesda, but you know what? There really is something for everybody coming this year, and it's really great to see. And right now, everything's selling well. The Xbox isn't selling as well as the PlayStation, but it's still selling fine. PlayStation's selling great. Fucking Nintendo is, the Switch is killing it. Nintendo's back on top. Everything is great. And I think it's a great time to be a gamer, and this E3 really drove that home for me, So there it is. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, man. I could not have been
just
more impressed.
But I just really loved this E3, especially once I got over the fact that there weren't any giant bombshell surprises. But I actually enjoyed that because more of the games are coming soon. We got to see true gameplay. And this was probably one of the toughest top 10. Like, I always love to break down my favorite games of E3, and this was probably one of the roughest years to whittle it down. There was just so many quality games across the spectrum that budgeting for the next year of video games is going to be a daunting task.
Well, I mean, we got to. So, I mean, I was going to talk about what our game of the show was, but we're like 20 minutes over now, and I've got to get to bed. So, I think we could all just agree the Metroid Prime 4 logo was the game of the show, and end it there.
No, I'm sorry. You mispronounced Dragon Ball Z Fighters. I don't understand.
No. You don't understand. You don't understand. Metroid Prime 4 was the game of the show, and if you want to argue with that, be my guest. Okay.
Nah, fam.
Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash.
Oh, you're speaking Brandon's language now.
Over that.
You are speaking Brandon's language.
That was number one of the show.
No,
definitely.
I have to represent that game at Anime Expo this year.
Oh no.
So expect lots of swag represented for you guys.
Great.
All right. Well,
the booby mouse pads.
Yeah, give me that mouse pad.
Brandon. Yeah, that booby mouse pad. Brandon's all over that shit. Brandon,
My mouse pad
our resident
is
weeb.
flat and boring. I need something with some bumps.
Some nipples. Brandon, just say it. You need something with some nipples.
Well, it's for the wrists.
You make me sad.
Christ.
You don't get to Grandmaster with a normal mouse pad.
All right. On that note, I think it's time to call it. So, Metroid Prime 4 game of the show, great.
No,
Anthony, dude, we had a great time. It was awesome having you back on, man. Seriously, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I
dude,
freaking
it's
love
one hell of a
it.
time.
And dude, one more time, congratulations on your new deal at GamesBeat, man. You're gonna do a fucking great job.
Thanks, man. Yeah, anybody watching, go follow GamesBeat on Twitter, or go to gamesbeat.com, venturebeat.com, and yeah, read stuff.
And speaking of Twitter, a quick word on the new format of the show, so you guys can see things look a little different. It'll be evolving. Hope you guys enjoy my ticker at the top there on the channel with all of our Twitter handles. So you guys
follow Cheddars.
Yep, you can go. Are you not in there? Yeah, you're in there, Jay.
I didn't see my name up there.
Is it not up there? I copied it and pasted it. Oh, because I need to add you to the channel. I still haven't added you to the channel description, so I'll do that as soon as we're done. Again, it's a work. You're new, and I'm fucking scatterbrained.
I'm giving you a hard time, man.
Man, leave me alone. But anyway, yeah. And so this thing that you see here, it's going to be evolving. We're going to add some more stuff there, some more videos, and hopefully next week we'll be doing PowerPoint slides, so we can move topic to topic, and you guys can come along with us. So we're going to add kind of an extra air of professional flair finally to the show. That's something that we're going to be working on. But anyway, thanks again, Anthony, for joining us, and thanks to all my fellow buddies here. I feel like we've wrestled enough jimmies for one night and tickled a few fancies, and now we're going to call it. We're going to bring it to a close. So this has been our E3 post show. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will of course be back next week on Thursday night, as always, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Probably with our shirts on, because this was a one-time deal. Looking's for free, but touching's going to cost you something. Don't forget that. So, guys, we'll see you next week. And as always, it's not always poetry, and we don't always agree, but we always keep it real. Be good to each other until next week, and go play some video games.